Today I show you how we filled 50 different positions through social media recruitment for our clients. I show you exactly which pictures we use, which videos we use, what kind of funnel we have in place, and how we use WhatsApp automations to keep the candidates engaged throughout the process. In the past, we managed 6+ figures in ad budget. We have hired over hundreds of employees through social media recruitment, and we have an average time to hire of 30 days. We work with small companies as well as stock-listed companies, so it works for several roles and in several industries. So let's get right into it. So most of the companies advertise their jobs on job boards like Indeed, etc. The problem with those is they target active candidates. So candidates who are actively looking for a job. But let's be honest, in especially difficult jobs like nurses, for example, there aren't a lot of nurses actively looking for a job. What we do differently is we focus on social media video recruitment ads to target the passive candidates. So qualified nurses who aren't actively looking yet for a job. This then we combine with a pre-application funnel to identify the best candidates. Well, it's important to point out that probably 75% of the recruitment market are passive candidates and not active candidates. But let's get right into an example. So here I'm on Indeed and just put registered nurse as an example. The job advertisements these days are just not attractive. If we look on the right, it's just a lot of text. Like, who reads all of this text and then thinks about applying for the position? What we do differently is we use pictures for that and animated videos to just make it a bit more visually appealing. What's important is we start with a pain point at the top to really target the nurses and the qualified candidates who have a job right now, but decide then to change to our clients. So here, to give you a little quiz, I show you 3 examples of job ads we run, and then you can guess which one generated the lowest cost per applicant. I run you through them. It's important that we always put the wage on the advertisement, so we qualify through that, then the pain points on top, and just make it very visually appealing, and don't put too much text. So if someone scrolls to Facebook and Instagram, it's not a lot of text and it's easily to comprehend. So here you see it's basically the same text on the advertisement, but it's different videos. And now I show you which one had the lowest cost per applicant. So the left one generated was $7 per qualified applicant. The one in the middle was $4 per qualified applicant, and the right one was $9 per qualified applicant. Here it's important to point out, I don't know what you would have guessed, but with a lot of my clients or like prospects in the first calls, most of them always say, oh, I find this one the most beautiful, or oh, I find this one the most beautiful. And it's counterintuitive most of the time that the ads which perform the best, most of the time we wouldn't have thought that those ones deliver the best results. So it's important here to have a very data-driven approach and just focus on the numbers and put feelings a bit aside. So here we tested 3 different creatives, so just like the background videos, which already made a huge difference. If we look, you can easily halve the cost per applicant if you just test different ones and focus on the data. And this is where most of the companies spend too much money, because they don't A/B test different creatives. So now we know, for example, the video in the middle is the best. Now I give you a second example of a warehouse worker, which we did for one of our clients. So after we know that this is the best video to work, we test different pain points. So here, for example, same again, you can guess which one works the best, and I show you afterwards. It's sick of 6 a.m. shifts, hours start at 8, come to us, need a job quickly, we hire you in 2 days, or tired of night shifts, with us you only work in daytime. So, and here we try to address the different pain points of the actual candidates, so we make them change their position to us because we can give them more favorable working environment. So again, which one do you think worked the best? 3, 2, 1, and I show you it was the left one. The left one worked the best because most of the companies, so we targeted the ads in Facebook actually to a huge logistics provider where we knew from competitive analysis that they work at 6 a.m. and our clients offered that the warehouse workers only have to start at 8 a.m. So through targeting also the advertisement directly around this warehouse or this logistics facility, we were able to hire over 10 employees within 2 weeks. So this is really massive to have a powerful pain point addressing thing. So this we do in terms of targeting and testing. So we test every week 3 to 5 different creatives to analyze different pictures, different videos, but also test the different pain points. So now let's go a step further. So what happens after they click? Because this is where most companies waste their budget and take a huge hit in conversion rate. So let's go back to our example in Indeed for the registered nurse advertisement. So let's say I want to apply now for this advertisement. I click on the advertisement and then I have to sign up and provide a phone number, which leads, in my opinion, to a huge dropout in conversion rate. Who wants to create an account? Who wants to upload everything, provide personal information without even knowing everything? So here we really try to make it more simple. I give you the pendant, so the version we use. We work with Perspective here, which we analyze has 7 times higher conversion rate through using their mobile funnels. It's important to point out that 90% of internet traffic these days is on the mobile phone. So a lot of not only Indeed, but also a lot of the career websites are not focused or optimized for mobile usage. But if you run Facebook and Instagram ads and then direct them to your website, which is not mobile optimized, the conversion rate drops. And most of the time it's everything in one page, so a one-pager with first name, couple questions, CV upload, etc. So we don't even know which page or which question or which field really hits or where we take the hit in conversion rate. So let me walk you through it. We basically work with the pain point again on here, like looking for more appreciation, and then provide an image, put the testimonials, and really try to make it more attractively and easily to comprehend, especially if people are in the bus or they're on their way to work or they are in their lunch break. It really has to be easy to apply. So this is one of the biggest ones, is the employee quotes. We see this with almost none of the employers, either on the career page nor on Indeed. I don't even know if it's possible on Indeed, to showcase what do other employees who actually have the job right now say about you. And let's take a step back. For a second. Even if we think ourselves the behavior, if you buy something on Amazon, for example, the first thing we look at is reviews. Why should that be different with jobs? It's just obvious. And then we explain a bit more about the employer. So if the candidate then clicks on apply now, we hit them with pre-qualification questions. So this is also huge because a lot of the companies which advertise on their career page, they say, okay, we get applicants, but they are mostly unqualified and I have to look through all the CVs. It's a lot of admin work. That's where we basically come in and hit the candidates with pre-qualification questions. That's just an example which can be branded in every way possible. We asked them a couple of questions here. Where do you live? New York. Oh, yeah. And so this one, for example, we saw had the highest, we can analyze the page-to-page conversion rate, which I'm going to show you in a second. So we saw that this question where we have to put in text into a field has a high dropout in conversion rate. So what we then basically do is we display again one of the main benefits below the question to boost the click-through rate. So when can you start? In 2 weeks? Do you have a driver's license, etc. And then the candidate basically comes to this contact form where they can fill out information. And Once they fill out this information, the applicant will be directly created in our applicant tracking system. So to give you a bit of more inspiration, what we actually can do and analyze here is we saw, for example, that especially on the opening page, we not only test the pain points in the creatives, but we also test it in the opening page. So here, for example, you see, let me put this down, or let me scroll a bit. You can see intro page A1 and intro page AB. And 50% of the traffic comes to A1 and 50% of the traffic comes to A2. And here we can test different versions. So you see here we put the wage and here we put the benefits. And that way we can analyze where's the highest conversion rate. So where do more people click on apply? And this is what most companies, why their social media recruitment or ads in general are not really profitable, is because they don't really test. They do one creative on Facebook, they will do one funnel on their career page, which has everything, and they can't really analyze it. So, and here's the money. You really have to test things around all week to ensure the best results. And then we can go on metrics and analyze all the different insights from this funnel. So analyze, where do people drop out? Here, where do people drop out? And which version works the best? So here you can see from the question for the experience, it drops out from 5 to 2 applicants, from 5 to 2 visitors only. And after the candidate applies to the position, I want to show you this real quick. We send them and they come to the thank you page, where basically I show a picture of myself, and then they get a automated WhatsApp video. So this is where we have WhatsApp integrations in place, where they basically get this video. Hello, thank you very much for your application as a nurse here in Orlando. I will shortly reach out via telephone to tell you more about the position and benefits. Looking forward. Yes, and what we do here is we also we showcase the number, because in the way that we showcase the number, we can analyze and see that the people, imagine you get called from an HR person and you've never seen the number on your telephone. The likelihood that the person picks up the phone is pretty low. So what we basically do is a bit also from the movie Focus. I don't know if you guys know, where the Chinese guy always gets seen the same number, so he remembers it in his head. We basically do the same thing. So we show the number here, we show the number in the WhatsApp video. So when you once get called, you maybe saw the number already subconsciously, and the likelihood is higher to pick up the phone from a candidate's point of view. What we also do is either in the funnel or in the WhatsApp text below, we ask, when does the candidate want to be called? This is also huge, which not a lot of companies do, is to ask, hey, when do you actually want to be called? And we analyze that through our over 10,000 applications we generated so far, that if you don't ask and the HR manager calls the candidate just randomly, they need 3 calls on average to reach the candidate to pick up the phone. If you showcase the number with the subtle subconscious kind of strategy and ask them when they want to be called, we only need 1.3 calls on average to reach the candidate on the telephone. So that also massively saves time for the candidates. So what we then, I want to show you the impact of an A/B test we did. So this is the opening page, original and variant. So I told you on the opening page, where we explain with the employee quotes, benefits, etc., that we test different pain points and different pictures, etc. And just here, to having a different approach, we basically more than doubled the rate of people clicking apply. So you see how powerful these A/B tests are, and also how crucial these A/B tests are to really squeeze the maximum out of your ad budget. I mean, to be honest, you can do all of this yourself, but if you want to avoid the mistakes, etc., click below and book a call with me, and I'm happy to showcase how a partnership could work with us. But in theory, you could also do it yourself. So regarding the next thing, so when we advertise the jobs for you, we basically also, after the applicant applies, we have an integrated CRM system in here, applicant tracking system. So we can basically give a login to the HR manager, and you see all the information here to all the candidates. You can put notes where different HR people can assign them, etc. And you can directly create messages. So let's say you called Vincent, the applicant, and you scheduled an interview. You can put him into interview. And just to have like a structured thing in place here is really crucial, because otherwise we see with a lot of clients that they get confused and they don't know the status of which applicant, etc. So we really need like an overview of all the applicants, and it also shouldn't be too complicated, especially if a new person comes on board, etc. So as you see, we really try to keep it as simple as possible with everything. So regarding this, it's also interesting that you can put, when you change them to rejected, for example, we can trigger an automated WhatsApp message which goes to the candidate, hey, thanks for applying. Unfortunately, it didn't work out this time. And on the other hand, for interview, also we could basically send them an interview guide and an invite, maybe with a Calendly link, hey, book your interview slot here. Regarding there's even more functionality with this, but I want to keep it as simple as possible. So as you see, it's mostly about testing. It's mostly to have a good process in place, and then social media recruitment ads can get really profitable. So we have some clients who hire 10 plus employees through social media every month just by having this scalable and efficient process in place. And also to hear from the candidate, from the HR manager right after you applied. If we just compare the open rates from WhatsApp to email, it's basically crazy. I mean, if I ask you, for example, how often did you check your private email today compared to your WhatsApp? It's really crazy, because we get reply rates in WhatsApp from 5 to 7 minutes compared to email, which sometimes can be 10 hours or maybe even 24 hours, depending obviously on the position and the likelihood of the target group checking the emails consistently. We also then offer a service where basically we call the candidates and pre-qualify them. So we call them and say, let's this guy, for example, Vincent, how much did you, are you a registered nurse? When do you want to start? How much do you want to earn? Do you have a driver's license? Just to validate that the candidate is highly qualified, and then we only forward the candidates to our clients. So basically you receive qualified applicants on autopilot from us, and we see ourselves there as an external HR department for you, saving your time and having a scalable and automated process in place. If you now say, hey, this sounds interesting, I would like to learn more how a partnership with you works, then feel free to click the link below, and I personally reach out, and we set up a call to discuss your needs, and I can walk you through if social media recruitment makes sense for you or not, because it does not make sense for all positions, but for most of the positions, we already had a track record of filling these positions through social media recruitment. And yeah, I hope this video was a bit insightful. You could take 1 or 2 things away. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them all in great detail. And feel free also to leave a comment into which area I should do my next YouTube video and where I should deep dive even further. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys.